חצי הקלטנו כשזה לא מפוקס. אז תראי כל את השתיים.
אמרתי לך אסור.
לא ביקשתי בשיעור, לא לכתוב לנו.
יאללה, דחן.
תודה.
Okay, take a seat. We're going to continue. We have some work to do. So, take a seat, take a seat.
היי פייב.
עומדת לי גם עוד 10, לא גם. מה שזה החזיק זה החזיק.
לא יודע, אמרתי תודה.
עזוב, תעשה
אני
מצלמה
מתחיל עוד
קדמית.
10 שניות.
לא, 5.
אחי, נשים שלי בזה.
כן, טוב. איך הרבה?
אני יודע.
עבר.
Test schedule. First of all, you asked me when are we going to start solving complete examinations. So, this is when. I know I already asked you to do it, but some of you did do it, some of you didn't. There you go, another one.
I did one.
Yeah.
I did one also.
But it's not complete. It's not complete, so I want you guys to complete it.
כן, גם אנחנו גלגלים.
אני לא רואה את הקצב, סורי.
So I want you guys to complete it. First of all, this is the test schedule. So homework is always work according to the test schedule. From now on. Now, why do I put it together? Because I don't want people to forget that they have these resources. So the official study guide has 10 tests. And the McGraw-Hill CD also has 4 tests. What we don't have here is the McGraw-Hill tests, right? The McGraw-Hill, we have 4 such tests, right? Yeah, test.
השאלות של המבחנים שהגשתם לנו לעשות?
חלקם. So, what I want you guys to do is please also remember that this is McGraw-Hill Test 1. שבוע מספר 6, השבוע הזה. אני רוצה בבקשה שתפתרו. Official Guide Test Number 1 and McGraw-Hill Test Number 1.
מה? רגע, שוב, מה אמרת?
אופישי זה בקולג' בורד?
כן.
אין תשובות אבל בקולג' בורד.
יש. אחרי כל מבחן.
איפה יש?
בסוף המבחן יש לך תשובות לניקוד.
קיבלתי ציון גרוע מאוד של 1,600.
וחוץ מזה, יש לכם גם את התשובות אונליין. זאת אומרת, המבחנים האלה הם מבחנים אמיתיים. Let's say you see a question, and the question is, if x is equal to 7p and x is divisible by 11, and you go like, okay, you just write SAT, x equals 7p, and that's it. You just type in these things, right, into Google. Somebody somewhere already uploaded the question and uploaded the solution. Usually the solutions are not going to be perfect, but if you can't solve it yourself, if you can't understand the solution that they gave you, Google that question. ממש תשמשי בגוגל, זה עובד. תמיד עוזר. So, אל תתביישו. So the homework is item number 4, test schedule. Test schedule is McGraw-Hill, test number 1. And how do you want to call it? Official guide?
Yeah.
College board. What do you call it? The college board, test number 1. Now, I know, please quiet. No, nobody saw, אני לא רוצה לשמוע מילה מאף אחד עכשיו, בסדר? נדבר אחרי בהצבעה. כל כך מרגיז לו. I know that I asked you to do some of them. If you haven't, please make sure that you arrive at this point. That both of these tests are complete. Next week is going to be McGraw-Hill test number 1. And so next week is going to be McGraw-Hill test number 2 and official guide college board test number 2. Here, week number 9, I want you guys to do McGraw-Hill test number 3. When do you take the examination? And when is our course finished? Okay, so here, don't forget that you have also McGraw-Hill test number 4. Got it? So as you progress, you have more and more tests to complete. And it becomes easier, much easier. Do you have any questions? שאלות. לדבר בבקשה אחרי בהצבעה, כן.
בהגבלת מה?
Yeah, well, here, please, not timed this week. Don't do it timed. Afterwards, I want you to give yourselves 150% of the amount of time. Afterwards, I want you to time yourselves.
But
To give yourselves exactly 100%.
כבר עשינו לעצמנו 150.
I know. This, I want everybody to be on the same page. If you already feel that you can time yourself, time yourself. But I would suggest, it's more important to learn how to walk before you run, right? And he told me that you get very few mistakes, but it still takes you a lot of time. So I want you to, next week, limit yourself to 150% of the amount of time, and which means 37.5 minutes usually per section. And the week after that, you start timing yourself. Yes?
יש מבחנים במגרע אייס גם
Quiet,
בספר
please.
וגם
Quiet.
בדיסק.
Please. Sorry?
יש מבחנים של מגרע אייס גם בספר וגם בדיסק.
Yes.
אוקיי.
So all told, you have 8 McGraw-Hill tests. Yeah. Yes. Quickly.
יש הרבה דברים בספר, כאילו בטסט, במבחן שפתרתי, כמו המנסרות וכל הדברים האלה, ומילים קשות שעוד לא...
So write down these words. I give you a review page. Use a review. Write down whatever it is that you don't know and ask me those things. Now please be aware of the fact, obviously, that I'm now asking you to self-complete examinations. But here we haven't talked about all the material, right? So obviously it makes sense that you're going to come across things that we haven't spoken about in class. That is fine. Don't freak out about it. Still, I wouldn't want to wait until we've covered all of the material before I give you an entire examination, because that way you would forget everything that we talked about. This is the right way to go about it. Approximately halfway through the course, start asking people to solve, examinations. At the same time, start teaching you less and less new material. Got it? So from this point on, the emphasis goes from learning new materials to practicing. So now it's going to be, practicing is going to be, you can see more and more and more. Here, on the last week before you take the examination, I'm asking you guys to solve 5 examinations, right? And the last lesson, I'm not going to teach you anything new on the last lesson. The last lesson is just going to be your questions. One last question, please. Okay, let's continue, please. I want to talk to you guys about sentence completion. מתחילת הערב קשה לי מאוד, ואני לא יודע מה קרה לזה, ולא כל כך מעניין אותי בשבוע. אנחנו צריכים לעבוד בגלות. Good. Sentence completion. Now, here's the deal. Even though sentence completion is what part of the examination? It's reading, writing, or math, obviously.
Reading.
It's reading, right? Thank you, Ulrike. So, obviously, you're not going to be, there isn't a lot to know about it, but there are a couple of things that I want you guys to know about it, so I'll mention them, obviously, today. I know, thanks. Yeah, it is part of the reading.
You guys said it.
Yeah, no, I think that's part of So start reading, I'll look for it. תקראו בבקשה את הדף קצת, אני מחפש את זה כאן. So sentence completion. On the examination you have 3 chapters, right? One of them is 25, one of them, the other one is 25 minutes, the other one is 20 minutes. What I want you to bear in mind is that the sentence completion are about 8 questions out of the 24, so it's about a 1/3, right? So sentence completion is about 1/3 of the reading portion. So it's worth to you 200 points on the examination. החלק הזה שווה לכם 200 נקודות, which means that it's huge, obviously, and well, if you were working on the vocabulary, right, so you worked slightly too hard on the reading. You have to balance that with working on the vocabulary. If you work on the vocabulary, then obviously you improve your chances here. Now, I want you guys to underline this. We're talking about approximately 45 seconds per question. About 45 seconds per question. And basically, you guys already know these, right? You have a sentence and you have a blank or 2 blanks. Never will you have 3 blanks. Now, what is measured on this examination? It's true that they measure vocabulary, logical consistency. But they also measure your logic, right? Because the things have to be logically correlated one to the other. So indicate that they measure vocabulary, please. But also, please indicate that we're talking about logic. Now, the recommended approach, let me ask you something. Which one do you think is harder? A single blank or a double blank? Which one is harder? A single blank is harder, you're right. Because in a double blank, if one of them doesn't fit, then the other one is not going to be correct as well. So before we're going to go through the recommended approach, take a look just below the recommended approach. You have a couple of tips, right? Take a look at the tips. In double blank sentences, what I want you guys to do, if you have a sentence, right? If you have a sentence, you have one blank and you have another blank. Usually what people do is that they work very methodically. They plug in the first answer choice. If it makes sense, you know, they choose it. If it doesn't make sense, they move on, so on and so forth. Instead, what I'm asking you to do is slightly different. Now we're talking about double blank, right? So double blank questions. I want you to read the question, and I want you to predict. Now, I'm going to talk about prediction in a second, but let's assume that this is the easier blank and this is the harder blank. You read the sentence and you go like, okay, the second blank, I think I know what that needs to be. So what I want you to do is to start with the second blank. In other words, you're going to have A, B, C, D, E, right? You're going to have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. If this is the easier blank, I want you to first of all vertically eliminate those answer choices that don't fit. For example, if the second blank you go, oh yeah, and therefore he was very samach, he was very happy, I'm looking for something positive here, right? And then I go here, and if this one means negative and this one means negative, I can eliminate both of these answer choices. Got it? And only then am I going to go to this answer choice or to that answer choice or to that answer choice. Got it? So, in double blank sentences, please vertically check the answer choices for the easier blank, and then, what do? Eliminate. Please highlight this sentence. In double blank sentences, vertically check the answer choices for the easier blank, and then eliminate. Now, the recommended approach. And the recommended approach is not something that you guys are going to, again, it's not exceptional. Unlike, you know, the method that, a couple of tricks, quantitative tricks that we talked about today that are very, very difficult to figure out by yourselves, this is something that's very easy to figure out by yourself. But instead of you solving about 100 questions and reaching something very similar, let's cut that learning curve and let's just say immediately, what do you guys need to do? First of all, read the sentence. So please, you have the words in bold. נכון, יש לכם שם את המילים בעצם מודגשות כבר, אבל אני מבקש לקרוא את המשפט ולחזות את המילים החסרות. So read and predict. Read and predict. Usually people do better if they start predicting. They improve their performance by about 15%, something of that sort, which is quite nice. סליחה? בדיוק, לקרוא ותקראי תחזית המילה החסרה בצורה פעילה. אל תקשי לתשובות ותצפי שיציעו לך משהו. So again, read the sentence and try to predict the missing words, and pay attention to keywords. What are keywords? Basically, it's just a fancy name for?
מילה שחוזרת.
No. Clues, exactly. That's exactly what it means. Now, I'm sorry?
What is...
You always have clues. People usually think, and when I see badly written books that try to teach for the SATs, basically, how can you tell that it's a bad book? Basically, if they just took a sentence and they took a word out of that sentence, that's a bad question. Why? Because the examination doesn't do that haphazardly. The examination wants to test your logic, as I told you earlier, right? So they wouldn't take out just a word. They would take out a word that you can guess the meaning of based on the context. You will always have clues in the context. Always. Got it? One of the things that people who are inexperienced don't know is that every word is a clue. Please write it down next to stage number 2. Every word is a clue. תזכרו את זה בבקשה. Every word is a clue. That is the first thing I want you guys to remember. And the second thing, and please write it down, it's not written on your page. דבר שני שאני רוצה בבקשה שתרשמו, זה שהמשפטים ההגיוניים וסבירים. The sentences are logical and probable. Got it? Now this is kind of tricky, just a little bit. המשפטים ההגיוניים וסבירים. Sometimes I would get into an argument with somebody and they would tell me, no, but it's possible, that the manager fired the guy because he was too, diligent and masul, okay? I go like, yeah, it's possible that the boss was maybe threatened. נכון שהבוס הרגיש מאוים, כי יש מישהו שעובד כל כך קשה, אז הוא מפטר אותו. האם זה אפשרי? כן, בטח שזה אפשרי. האם זה סביר? לא. מובן הרציונל? מה זה סביר? מה שסביר, בסדר? לא, הם בדרך כלל ישתדלו לשמור את זה ברור מספיק, שתהיה באמת תשובה אחת שהיא הכי הגיונית. אבל מה שאני אומר לך זה דע מראש. בסדר, אתה לא סתם קורא להנהתך, אתה קורא כאן משפטים בבחינה. חוקי המשחק של הבחינה הזו, הנה אני אומר לך חלק מהם, זה שהמשפטים הם הגיוניים, והמשפטים הם סבירים. שתשובה שהיא לא סבירה לא תהיה התשובה הנכונה. Good. The third thing that I want you guys to do is to look through the answer choices and please don't forget to eliminate. Most people don't do it really well, and please don't forget to eliminate on the page itself. Eliminate, if this word didn't make sense, then eliminate that word. If this word didn't make sense, eliminate it. Don't eliminate D. I want you to literally eliminate the word that didn't fit. Why? I agree, but let's assume that instead of doing what I'm asking you guys to do, which is to eliminate that particular answer choice, that particular word, you would go like, okay, it's not B, but then you plug in and you go like, it's not A, it's not C, and it's not A. Now, you are in a world of trouble right now because you've eliminated 5 answer choices. However, if somebody else might say, okay, it's not this, and it's definitely not that, and this doesn't sound good, and this doesn't sound good. That person now only needs to recheck 2 answer choices, got it? Why? Because they know exactly why they eliminated 1, 2, and 3. Whereas if you just eliminated the letters of each one of the answer choices, that means that you don't know exactly why it was eliminated, got it? Leave a trail of breadcrumbs. תשאירי מאחוריך ברואי לחם כאלה. שיהיה ברור כאילו איפה היית, מה עשית. בסדר? שאלות? So, and then you select the best answer choice. By the way, it's not a perfect examination. No examination is perfect, but it's quite good. Usually, this is one of the differences between the McGraw-Hill book and the College Board book. College Board book, are the verbal people who write it are very good at what they do. It's very difficult to find people who are very eloquent, very good at writing. So just so you know, it's going to be better on this is the real deal. I'm reminding you guys that these are 10 real examinations that showed up. זה לא סימולציה של בחינה, זו הבחינה האמיתית, זו כמה בחינות אמיתיות שהופיעו. Good. So that's it, basically. It's pretty straightforward. כן היה חשוב לי מאוד להעביר לכם את השיטה ולהדגיש את זה שהמשפטים הם בעצם הגיוניים וסבירים. So a couple of tips. We talked about the first one. The second one reads, know your conjunctions. So pay attention to conjunctions. מה זה conjunctions? מילות קישור, לדעת את מילות קישור. If you see an unfamiliar word, as always, you might be able to guess its meaning based on its exact context, the way that it sounds, the prefix, the suffix. Break down complicated sentences into small ones. Please highlight this. This is something people, my TOEFL students already know this, but sometimes you have a very lengthy sentence. So instead of looking at the entire lengthy sentence and trying to take it in simultaneously, all of its different portions, what I'm asking you guys to do is just go like, okay, I have 3 parts here. What does this mean? Part number 1, part number 3. Okay, part number 2 tells me that there's some kind of contradiction between the two. Got it? So break it down into more manageable chunks. And if a question is too difficult, then eliminate answer choices based on the required. This is also very nice. Highlight this. Sometimes people tell me, you know what, I don't know exactly what's missing. You asked us to predict. Even if it's Hebrew, I want you guys to predict. So I don't know exactly what's missing, but I know that it's a negative context. Or I know that it's a positive context. Good. Usually that would be enough to eliminate 1 or 2 answer choices. Got it? So remember that you can... I'm sorry? The answer choices. Yes, and then guess. So eliminate and then guess. Usually people go like, okay, I didn't understand the question, so that's it. I'm going to leave it empty. Nonsense. Almost always people, even people who don't have fantastic English, usually people can eliminate 1 or 2 answer choices 90% of the time, almost regardless of your level of English. If you can speak a little bit of English, usually you would be able to eliminate 2 answer choices. So I want you to also bring questions. So item number 5, I want you guys to bring questions. Starting next week, I'm going to have more time to answer your homework questions. Today was kind of packed. Also, I had to ask you for it every now and then. But you know what? I think you solved a couple. It's okay. It's reasonable. נכון, אני רוצה פשוט להתקדם לדברים אחרים. אני מבקש לפתור את זה בבית. 2 דברים קטנים שנותרו לנו היום. משפטים של sentence completion. אני רוצה שתקראו את זה בבית. יש לכם גם טונות של מבחנים, אז זה לא כן, כן, אז אני כבר אתן לכם שיעורים של הכל, בסדר? לא, זה חלק משיעור. עוד דבר אחד קטן, we need to be talking about sequences. We also have a quiz. So go ahead and try to solve please question number 1 here. Question number 1.
רגע.
רגע, אז יש שיעור בסנטנס קומפלישן?
כן, ואמרתי, אני אתן מאוחר יותר. Please mark. So sequences, מה זה באמת? סדרות. Now, please remember the following. First of all, I know, מה התשובה כאן? קצת קשה.
550.
איך לא?
550? לא.
4,950.
לא.
ספרתי מ-1 עד 10, ואז נפלתי ל-10.
לא. קודם כל באמת מ-1 עד 10 זה 55, אבל שכחת משהו.
יש נוסחה.
Average equals the sum of numbers over the number of numbers, right? עכשיו, צודקת שיש נוסחה לסדרה חשבונית, אני בכוונה לא מלמד אותה, זה מאוד לא רלוונטי בבחינה הזו.
באמת?
כן, יש הרבה מאוד סוגים שונים של סדרות. Yeah.
כאילו
But,
חשבונית והנדסית.
yeah, or just general, and we'll see a couple here. So everybody agrees that an average is sum over the number of numbers, which means that an average times the number of numbers is going to be equal to the sum, exactly, the sum of the numbers. כולם מסכימים? Good. Now, it's reasonable, נכון? ממוצע שווה לסכום המספרים לחלק מספר המספרים ממוצע, אז פשוט תעביר את זה למעלה, נכון? זה הדבר הראשון. הדבר השני, if you have, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what is the average here? 3. כולם מסכימים? 3 is both the average and the median. What is median in Hebrew? חציון. חציון. תרשמו את זה בבקשה. So the average is equal to the median. שנייה אחת. הממוצע שווה לחציון בסדרות בהן הממוצע שווה לחציון, so the average is equal to the median. בסדרות בהן ההפרש הוא קבוע. In sequences where the difference is constant. So, הערכת אחרונה, הממוצע שווה לחציון, the average is equal to the median. בסדרות בהן ההפרש הוא קבוע. לדוגמה שלה אחת. So the average is equal to the median in sequences where the difference is constant. For example, question number 1. שאלות, כן.
average אני לא מחברת את כל המספרים ואז מחלקת
נכון.
מספר אלוהים.
נכון. ואם תעשי את זה, 1 ועוד 9 ועוד 3 ועוד 4 זה 10, 10 plus 5 is a 15, 15 divided by 5 is a 3. It works.
אז ב-100 זה 50.
Yes. Now, she just ruined the fun, but absolutely, so go ahead and solve it. So if we have 0, 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 all the way up to 100, what is the average here?
50.
50. Everybody agrees that that's going to be the average? Right?
שאלה.
Just say. How many, so in the same way that 1 plus 5 divided by 2 is a 3, 0 plus 100 divided by 2 is a 50, right? That's going to be the average. So that is the average. How many numbers do you have from a 0 to 100? How many numbers do you have? 101. Right? So, exactly. So, the average is 50. We have 101 numbers, so the sum is going to be 50, 50. Okay, Rubik? So, it's not 550, it's 50, 50. Now, Noy, you mentioned the formula, right? So, the formula is A1 plus AN times n divided by 2, which people don't remember, as you can see, because they're not being taught it in the right way. In fact, the formula should be a1 plus an divided by 2. הדבר הראשון והדבר האחרון לחלק לשתיים, שזה הממוצע, times n. Got it? So you never saw it that way, but that way makes much more sense. And when I teach math and I teach it that way, people remember it. Yeah, go ahead. Do you have a question? Did you have a question? לא, ראיתי יד מורמת לשם.
למדתי שם 101, אבל אז אמרת.
Okay, yeah. 101. Good. So that solves it. But again, no, please don't assume that we're talking about the same, that we're talking about arithmetic sets. הסדרות חשבוניות, זה היוצא מן הכלל, בסדר? בדרך כלל הסדרות הן לא חשבוניות.
כאילו שאין להן די.
נכון, שאין להן הפרש קבוע. So what we just talked about, where the average equaling the mean, the median, sorry, that is applicable to question 1, to question 2. If we move on, we come across questions where this absolutely does not work. Here you can see that n is an integer, question number 3, n is an integer, such that n is between 1 and 10, and an is equal to this. So you see that the value of a certain item is determined based on the place of that item. Now, what is the value of A1 plus A2 plus A? Oh man, this is difficult. What do I do if I don't know how to solve a question? As always. You don't know? No, immediately we need to ask ourselves whether this is a must question or a maybe question. If it's a must question, we plug in comfy numbers in order to eliminate. And if it's a maybe question, we plug in answer choices in order to confirm. Right? In a nutshell, והפסדת את השיעור הזה?
גם קודם אמרת את זה.
כן, כן. זהו, אז את חייבת לפחות לצלם את זה, בסדר? אבל זה בעצם המפתח להצבה. כל פעם שאני לא מצליחה, תשאלי את עצמך אם זאת שאלה שיש לה תשובה של אחת שהיא תמיד נכונה, או שזה בערך 90% מהשאלות, 80% מהשאלות, או זאת שאלה שלפעמים יכולה להיות לו תשובה נכונה. Here they ask you, this is a must question, right? They're asking which of the following must be true. Must be true. So what do? We plug in comfortable numbers in order to eliminate. What is the most convenient number to plug in? 0 or plus minus 1. Here, unfortunately, I cannot plug in a 0, and it's more than a 1 or equal to a 1. So let's work slowly. Let's assume that n equals a 1. That means that a1 equals 1 over 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 1. Everybody sees it? Whenever I saw an n, I plugged in a
But you cannot plug
1.
in one.
What a
Then
n?
it's bigger.
No. Bigger than or equal. גדול שווה. Everybody agrees? So A1 is 1 over 1 minus 1 over 2. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I got it. A2 is going to be 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 plus 1, which is 3. Got it? מובן הרציונל, מה אני עושה? מי לא הבין אותי? כן. What I do...
שמה היה כאילו 1 פחות 1, לא במכנים?
No, זה מאוד.
חצי.
סליחה?
אחד פחות חצי.
Yes. What I do basically is I just plug in n equals 1. If I plug in n equals 1, so A1, every time I see an n, I'm going to plug in a 1 instead. So A1 is 1 over 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 1. So it's 1 minus a half. Moving on. Let's assume that n equals a 2. So A2 equals 1 over. Dictate it to me, please. כל פעם שאנחנו רואים n נציב 2. So n equals a 2. So it's going to be 1 over 2 minus 1 over 2 plus 1, which is 3. Got it? Okay, so I think I got it. Basically, A3 is going to be 1/3 minus 1/4. And so on and so forth. Move on? Move on?
לא.
מה לא מובן?
למה?
פשוט מציב, פעם אחת
רשמתי
אחת.
פשוט פתרתי את זה.
Now, this is a half. This is a sixth. This is going to be difficult for me. Now, I do have a calculator, and I can solve it. But the thing is that we learned again last week. וכמה פעמים אמרתי חבל שאת לא פה, בסדר? תשאלי אותו. כי זה היה שיעור, אף אחד לא החמיץ, אתה גם ראית שיעור שעבר, אבל אתה החמצת כבר 3 שיעורים, חשבתי שכבר סיימת. כי זה היה באמת שיעור די חשוב, ואמרנו כל פעם שלא מצליחים, מציבים כמה מספרים לא חיים, וזה בדיוק מה שעשיתי כאן. And we also know that a question on this examination will never contain more than 4 steps, thank you, or 10 simple counts. So calculating each one of those is a stage. Is it possible that they will ask me 10 stages? No. No. So there has to be some kind of a trick. What is that trick? Think about it. Sorry, I want everybody to think 20 seconds. What is that trick? Yes. No, go ahead. Gabriel, what is it?
What you taught us before.
What is it?
It's the average.
No.
No?
No, I'm sorry. Why not? Can anyone tell them why not? Why not do the average thingy? Fantastic. In fact, the difference is not constant. Here, the difference is 1/2 minus 1/3. It's a difference of 1/6. It's a difference of 1/3. And here, the difference is 1/6. Right? So the difference is really not the same. What do you do? Exactly. Listen, I told you at the beginning of the course that the single most important word in quantitative is simplify. Always simplify as much as possible. But here's the deal. This is the exception to, this is 1 out of 100 questions where it does not work. The simplification all the way through, Gabriel, does not work. Take a look at one, item number 10. A10 is 1 over 10 minus 1 over 11. Everybody sees it? זה 1 לחלק ל-10, 1 לחלקי 11. So what Shah is saying, and this is definitely the way to go about it, he's saying, wait a minute, if you have to add this, then don't calculate the half, don't calculate the 1/6, leave it here. Don't simplify it all the way through. Do you see, Gabriel? 1/2 plus, minus 1/2 plus 1/2, canceled out. Minus 1/3 plus 1/3, canceled out. Got it? If you take a look at A9, A9 is 1/9 minus 1/10, plus 1/10 minus 1/11, right? So in this case, minus a 10 plus a 10 gets eliminated. So what do you have left?
הראשון והאחרון.
Only the first one, which is 1,
The last.
and the last one, which is an 11th. 1 minus an 11th, how much is it? 10 11ths, and the correct answer choice is.
Nice.
Yes, it's a smart question, it's a difficult question. We have a couple of other difficult questions here. What I want you guys to do is to solve them. Now, before we're going to do the quiz, and I am going to do the quiz with you guys tonight. We're not gonna
Vocabulary?
quiz. Yes.
Vocabulary and read.
You know what? Not before. I'm going to give you the quiz and I'm going to write down the homework while you are solving this. Go ahead. So, one last push. Loli Tihesh.
אבל זה לא פייר, אני לא למדתי את זה.
נכון, אז אף אחד לא עושה את זה כי קל לו.
אז תפסיקו.
בואו נסיים בדם, כאילו נסיים.
רגע, אני רוצה לתת כאן זה, משהו יותר טוב.
I'm gonna say it. Quiet, please. Okay, so homework. First of all, I asked you item number 5 להביא שאלות. אל תתביישו, אני רוצה שתביאו שאלות. עכשיו אתם מתחילים לצבור שאלות, ואני אשמח לענות על כמה שיותר מהן. הלאה, McGraw-Hill, pages 209 to 34. To answer your question, sentence completion. עכשיו תיזהרו, הם ינסו לומר לכם שזה מאוד מורכב ויש הרבה שיטות וכולי. אני לא רוצה שתבזבזו על זה את הזמן. למעשה, זה משהו שהוא קצת פחות חשוב לטעמי. If you're pressed for time, don't do it because you'll see hundreds and hundreds of sentence completion questions on the tests. So don't worry about it. You don't have to do it. vocabulary unit number 6, you do need to do it. Unit, זה VU, not VU, my mistake.
מה אמרת על TS?
אז תהיה זה test schedule. בסדר, תמיד לעבוד על פי ה-test schedule, שכולל מגרהל test number 1 ומגרהל test number 2. college board, סליחה, תודה. college board test number 1. להביא, פריט מספר 5, להביא שאלות. פריט מספר 6, מגרהל, עמודים 209 עד 234, זה אופציונלי, לא חובה. זה sentence completion. sentence completion, לא חובה. פריט מספר 7, זה vocabulary unit number 6. אגב, עדיין לא מאוחר מהסיבה הפשוטה שארבעת השבועות האחרונים לא יהיו לכם vocabulary units חדשים. בסדר? אז אפשר אפילו אם עצרת בשתיים... לא, יהיה לך קשה, את צריכה לעבוד עכשיו.
אני שוכחת. היא פשוט כל פעם חוזרת מההתחלה על הכל.
ככה צריך.
לא, זה לא יעיל, היא לא שומרת את זה.
אין לי זמן כאילו לעשות את זה עכשיו.
לשיקולך, בסדר? אבל אני רק אומר שבאמת השבועות האחרונים לא יכללו מילים חדשות, זה רק תרגול ותרגול.
כמה יוניטים יש?
7 units. 7 units, that's it. Yeah. One last thing, McGraw-Hill, for the rates of motion and for the sequences, these are the pages. Pages 346, 349, and 406, 411, McGraw-Hill. בסדר? אלו כל השיעור. Yeah, go ahead.
יש לי מלא כרטיסיות של מילים, ואני לא בטוחה אם זה אותם מילים.
לא משנה, כל עוד את לומדת מילים זה בסדר.
אז השאלה שלי גם ללמוד את הכרטיסיות וגם את זה, זה מספיק שאני לומד את הכרטיסיות.
עדיף, אלה הכי חשובים בעיניי. בסדר? טוב, אנחנו צריכים לסיים. אינספד, what is אינספד?
משעמם וחסר טעם.
משעמם חסר תכלית. moving on, melancholy?
מלנכולי.
עצוב, נכון, זה עצוב. vilify, what is villain?
להשמיט.
לא.
לא יודעים.
כן, אתה צודק בעצם, נכון, סליחה. לא שאלתי פשוט מה זה villain, אתה צודק. מצוין. villain זה רשע, to vilify זה להשמיץ. לגרום למישהו להיות רשע. To demonize someone. Vilify, to make them out to be a villain. Melancholy זה עצוב. Pores, what are the skin's pores? נקבוביות של העור. pores זה מכורה, בדיוק, נקבובי. holy, exactly. מכורה, נקבובי. מה זה ויגור? דיברנו על זה. כוח או חיות.
איגו.
כן, לא ידעתי את זה.
לא, אני
איגור.
איגו רוסי.
כן, אם זו אסוציאציה של איגור, נכון? כן, מצוין? בויסר. מה זה אין? אין, לא, אין זה או לא או כן.
או בטוב.
כן, או בטוב. So to invigorate זה להחיות, זה להמריץ.
זה גם תופס לדרבן?
סליחה?
לדרבן זה גם תופס?
אותו?
לדרבן.
כן. להחיות או להמריץ. To coerce זה לכפות. To force somebody to do something. auditory זה שקשור לחוש השמיעה. נכון מאוד. auditory.
אז מה זה?
שקשור לחוש השמיעה. חבר'ה, אני מבקש להיות איתי. coerce זה לכפות. אני לא חוזר עוד על מילים, יש לכם עוד מעט על מילים, תבדקו את זה לעצמכם. putrid זה רקוב או מסריח. So it's rotten or smelly. To impede זה לעכב.
נכון, פי זה רגע.
To hamper, אותו דבר, לעכב, לקלקל.
זה להפריע.
להפריע, נכון? כל הכבוד. Destitute, זו מילה מאוד מוזרה. Destitute זה אני מרוד. Somebody who's very, very, very poor.
אני מרוד?
כן.
אני?
Somebody who's very, very poor. Very poor. Remuneration, money. תזכרו שזה קצת דומה לכסף. Remuneration זה פיצוי כספי. Re-money, שנותנים לך את הכסף בחזרה. פיצוי כספי. Prophecy זו נבואה. מצוין. מה זה signed?
מדע.
מדע או ידע, נכון. מה זה פרי זה?
ידע מקדים.
קודם.
לפני, מצוין, זה ידע קודם. ידע
מקדים.
קודם. מקדים, קודם. נכון, אתה צודק. עכשיו, זה לא ידע מקדים במובן של, oh, somebody told me something about a stock, and I know about... you have a gut feeling about something. got? So, to prescient, אם יש תחושת בטן לגבי משהו. עוד פעם? כן, כן, משהו כזה. By the way, it's pronounced prescient, not prescient. Prescient. So the accent is this. And relic זה שרית, שארית. זהו, אז אני יודע שהיה קצת צפוף בחלק האחרון של השיעור, אבל... מה?
היה סייק.
כן, הספקנו יפה. זהו, תביאו את כל השאלות שלכם, אני מקווה שאתה בשבוע הבא, אני כבר צריך לענות על 70, 80 ואז 100%.
יש שיעורים בטסלה?
אני לא יודע, תשאלי אימייל, אני לא
אני רוצה, אבל אני לא מתקצר. למה? כי אין לי זמן, אני כל הזמן בצבא, אני עושה לי קצת משתגע שלי. אני משתגע מעצמי.
מלא אוכל מסביבי.
אתה רוצה תבוא אליי, תבוא אליי.
אתה כל יום בבית תקשיב, אני לא
לא יודע שגם שיעור בצבא יש לו את זה.
צריכה לאכול.
איזה כבודי, תבוא אליי. כן, אבל זה כלום, כל היום יוצא.
חייב לעבוד בשביל להתקיים, לא?
איזה עובד, איזה עובד?
שאני עובד, אני רק לעבוד של אבא שלי.
בן אדם עובד, זה מה יש?
יאללה, ברא.
תשובות.
דניאל.
כן.
דניאל, אני אשלח לך קצת בפייסבוק או? ביי. מה? שנפרוק לך פשוט את הבן שלי באוויר שלך, נורא לי, אני יכולה להכניס גם כאילו? כן, אני יכולה להכניס, יש סטורי תודה.
הטלפון הזה נראה
סבבה, פשוט יותר נוח.
במחיר הוא...
לא, אני הכל כאילו מכניסה את זהו, אז אני פשוט אפרוק. רוצה שאני אשלח לך ותדפיסי או שאני אביא לך לשבוע הבא?
כמה שנים לא?
טוב, אני שבוע הבא. ואני אדפיס.
הנקסוס 4, 1,200 ש"ח.
נכון?
350 דולר.
רשמתי.
ובארץ, במקום הכי זול זה עולה 2,700. אתה צודק, כן.
מה? על מה?
שאלה רק מי יביא לי את זה. רגע, אבל זה עם
חיילי, מה
שאני
שאתה רוצה לדבר עם...
זה בדרך כלל עם החבילות המחירים.
תענה אותך.
מה?
זה בדרך כלל עם החבילות שהמחירים טובים. אז 350 זה... בלי חבילות?
שום חבילה, שום כלום, לא.
לא, בדרך כלל משהו אותי לחבילה.
לא, זה כל הקטע, זו הסיבה שלא רציתי.
אין לי שום תקווה.